Good afternoon, everyone. I'm John A. Murphy, Director of the Teamsters National Freight Division. Before we begin today, I'd like to ask everyone mute themselves if you have not already done that. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I realize it's Mother's Day, so I'd like to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. This call will be brief, but we felt important enough to let the membership know of some of the changes going on in our freight division. Right now, before I start, I would like to introduce General President Sean O'Brien for some opening remarks.
Great. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to address our freight members. John Murphy's doing a great job running the division along with Vice President Danny Avalon. As you know, we've been in office about 46 days. We've made a lot of changes. We've staffed up the freight division, made it a regional. John will get into the schematics of what the freight division looks like, but we've done a regional structure. We've appointed IBT reps to ensure that our members in the freight division, one, are well represented, and two, General Secretary Treasurer Zuckerman and myself have been traveling the country with the campaign in the first 46 days in office, talking to a lot of freight members and making certain that we are restoring the faith of our members that are in the freight division, but also making certain that we know what needs to be done to make that a bigger, faster, stronger division. The one thing we have to focus on is organizing in the freight industry, which hasn't happened in a long time, but we want to organize attainable targets. But most importantly, moving forward, we want to make sure that we enforce the grievance procedures. We make certain that we're taking the companies on and gearing up for the strongest freight contract that this industry is ever going to see. And that's important because if we're going to organize in the freight division, we're going to need to have the best contract, because when we go to the non-union workers to say, join the teams, this is what you get, we want to make sure that it isn't the way it's been in the past where, we have to show people a concessionary agreement. That's not going to happen under our watch. I have all the faith in Director Murphy and Co-Director Avalon and everybody that's working in the freight division. Again, I want to thank everybody for taking the time, getting on this call. I know it's Mother's Day as well, and happy Mother's Day to everybody else. John, back to you.
Thank you, General President O'Brien. First, I'd like to go over the new structure of the National Freight Division. As many of you are aware, T-Force Freight is now under the Freight Division. This does not change the T-Force contract or its grievance procedures, but with the addition of the Port Division to the Freight Division as well, we want to make sure everyone's aware of the new structure of the division. The entire point of restructuring is that we want to improve and enhance our responsiveness to the members. First and foremost, local unions, regionals, regions, agents, and the entire division will be held accountable, including myself. This past Friday, I held a call with our national freight local unions and told them that all of us will be responsive to our members. We will not ignore members or let cases or grievances languish. To this contrary, it is the priority of General President O'Brien and General Secretary Treasurer Zuckerman that we be responsive and accountable to the membership. In terms of structure, I will serve as the National Freight Director. Danny Avalon, Central Region International Vice President, will serve as Assistant Director. We have appointed regional coordinators for each region who will generally oversee the things in that region. This includes traditional freight, T-Force, and ports. We have also appointed field representatives and assigned them to each region. We should have a flow chart on the screen. I'd like to now go over each region's coordinators and field representatives. Starting in the Eastern region, Edgar Thompson of Teamsters Local 776 is the overall Eastern Region Coordinator. The traditional freight field representatives below him are Sal Abate and Rick Lawton. Sean Doherty is the Eastern Region T-Force Freight Chairman, and Mark Geary is the Eastern Region T-Force Freight Co-Chairman. In the Central Region, we have Michael Heighton of Teamsters Local 407 as the overall Central Region Freight Coordinator. Jeff Combs, Chris Richter, Robert Warnock, and Bill Wiedenbrand are traditional freight field representatives. Tim Meadows will serve as the Central Region T-Force Freight Chairman, and Don Moran is the Central Region T-Force Freight Co-Chairman. In the Southern Region, Lyndon Grissom of Teamsters Local 480 is the overall Southern Region Freight Coordinator, with Howard Boykin and John Gale as traditional field representatives. Chris Taylor is the Southern Region T-Force Freight Chairman, and Timothy Nichols is the Southern Region T-Force Freight Co-Chairman. In the Western Region, Ron Siemens of Teamsters Local 63 has been appointed as the Western Region Freight Coordinator, with Romero Alonso serving as Western Region T-Force Freight Chairman and Felix Martinez as the Western Region T-Force Freight Co-Chairman. Eric Tate of Teamsters Local 848 will serve as the Western Region Port Coordinator, but will have a direct link to me as well for port issues. In terms of T-Force administration, Chris Taylor has done a great job of handling T-Force and will continue to oversee the regional chairman and co-chairman. Chris in turn will report directly to myself or Danny Avalon. This structure will give the division the ability to cover the entire country, to assist locals in providing a fast, effective response when situations arise, and provide the necessary assistance to our local unions to resolve those issues in a positive manner for our members. Now, in terms of member calls or complaints to the division, we will address them with renewed attention and responsiveness. All calls will be logged into a database with time, date, issues, details, and ultimately the resolution shared with the appropriate staff. We are certainly not taking the place of the grievance procedure, but we will be responsive to members' concerns and complaints. Depending on the issue, a member complaint may be referred to the local union directly to handle or provide a response to, or the applicable regional coordinator and applicable regional freight representatives, port rep or T-Force chairman. We will then circle back and respond to the member directly. We will be continuously trying to improve our system, so things may still change, but I wanted to let everybody know that we now have a larger, more complex division, particularly with addition of T-Force in the ports. And that is nevertheless our goal, to get better responsiveness to the members or to enforce our contracts, to organize new members, and to negotiate the best contracts possible. We are about working for the members, and we want the members active and engaged. With that, on behalf of General President Sean M. O'Brien and myself, I personally want to thank you all for your time. And again, happy Mother's Day.